way to drive around the moon. Absolutely. This is a place to live as well.
The place to live, and the plan is to do long-term human occupation of the moon, so we learn how to live and work on a planetary surface. We're going to spend at least up to 6 months at a time and probably do hundreds of spacewalks in that period.
For nearly half a century, working in space has been a difficult, even painful experience. One that would put serious limits on our future ability to explore other worlds. You have a spacewalk to do,
Right.
and it takes you 6 hours to get dressed.
Exactly. The spacesuits themselves create a lot of trauma on you because when you're working in the spacesuit, it's pressurized to 4.3 pounds per square inch. That's like working inside of a basketball. So it's stiff as a board, and it's not bad if you spend like an hour in it, but if you spend 8 hours in it, you come out all beat up.
The rover's designers came up with an ingenious solution, an embedded spacesuit that's easy to put on and take off.
And we literally just opened this interior hatch, and then this is actually the backpack on the suit. And it opens up, and there is your spacesuit. Wow. And you literally just step into the suit, and when you release the suit from the suit port, this goes with you.
With the spacesuit's step-in entryway, it will take a fraction of the normal 6 hours to get ready for a spacewalk.
6 hours to get ready?
From this comfortable area in my t-shirt and my jeans,
right,
into a spacesuit.
That's just getting into the spacesuit.
There's even an option to view terrain without ever stepping outside. So I'm sitting here, not but 2 inches from a lunar rock. And if I like this thing, well, within 10 minutes I'm outside.
Exactly.
This is a crazy experience. This is an absurd, weird, perceptual moment. Like, you invented one of the weirdest things I've ever been a part of. Thank you. To handle tough, otherworldly terrain, designers gave the rover 10 times the torque of a military Humvee.
Jesus.
Here we go. We're going in.
I wonder how much that rover is.
That is incredible. So this thing's got some fast kicked up.
You think about how many years it's taken to develop.
The rover tops out at a whopping 12 miles per hour.
It's all the thought and detail money goes into them.
Yep. Here we go. And we're cruising.
I've seen this guy before. He does extreme engineering programs.
It's been a lot of amazing work built the space station, but now we're going to go further. They're trying to press onto the moon and potentially even onto Mars.
That's right. That's the ultimate goal. So if we build this family of rockets between the Ares 1 and the Ares 5, we're trying to look long term, and we don't want to limit ourselves how far we can go.
You see, it's not enough to build a new set of rockets that can fly 35 million miles to Mars. The bigger challenge is preparing human beings to survive the trip. I'm at the NBL, the Neutral Buoyancy Lab, and this is the single largest interior swimming pool on planet Earth. 102 feet wide, 202 feet long, and 40 feet deep. But this pool has nothing to do with swimming. This pool...
Nah, it's simulate the motion like you were walking on the moon in the atmosphere.
Have you seen this before?
For its permanent habitat.
No, I don't think I have.
The International Space Station. And that is where these astronauts will be going on a mission that launches in just months. So how close is it to that zero-G environment once you'll be down there?
It's spot on, except for you don't have divers and water up there.
The NBL's lack of oxygen simulates the airless vacuum of outer space. So for these astronauts,
That's it.
Spacesuits are mandatory. What you're looking at right there is a real pressurized spacesuit. That's not a mock-up suit. That's the actual spacesuit he'll be using in 2 months up in the space station.
Well, you can't get more real than that, can you?
Stuff on a sausage.
Stuffing a
It's a
sausage.
tight fit.
It's very uncomfortable.
Okay, so he's now in his suit. What's he feeling on his body?
He's just chilling right now.
That doesn't look like chilling in any way that I've ever done before. So they are getting picked up on the crane and going up and into the pool. And this is intense. This is one of their last training missions before they're going to go into space and work on the space station. Here he goes. They're there. They're in the water. Yeah, I just got a high five from Danny. Pretty awesome. This training exercise is not just about simulating weightlessness. These astronauts have a much tougher task waiting for them up in space.
So what I find fascinating is when they go up there, they're not just doing scientific
So it's like a gravity simulation, you see, like getting in the actual space.
That is correct. The shuttle crews these days, that's their primary function currently, is to actually take up new pieces of station or replacement parts for maintenance and building the station.
Because even after 10 years of labor and $157 billion, the space station, the most expensive construction project in history, is still only 80% complete. So when
Good grief.
astronauts arrive in orbit, they will be
157
taking on
billion.
one of NASA's most dangerous jobs, space construction. Up to 8 exhausting hours in a stiff, pressurized suit. Oh, and if you drop a tool, you can be gone forever. And there's no hardware store 250 miles above Earth. NASA sends a new cargo shipment every 3 months. Every piece of cargo, every tool, any supply those astronauts need get assembled right here in this facility. And today, we're going to find out how you send cargo from planet Earth up to outer space. Because the space station is a sealed environment, any debris that makes it to orbit will stay on board forever. So we have to wear these full-body clean suits. Gear that flies into space rides in the space station's equivalent of a moving van. The unit is called the MPLM, the Multi-Purpose Logistics Module.
So this is the inside of the module going to space.
That is correct.
I gotta admit, this looks very spacey. Can we go inside? Absolutely. So like sometimes when I send packages, I put like a, like glass, very breakable handle with air. Right. Always gets broken. You should let us know. I mean, it's basically, you have the most hardcore handle with air, fragile side in the world. Absolutely.
Because we can guarantee you one thing, it will be a rough ride.
In fact, no package on Earth has a rougher ride.
It shows how old this is because the shuttle was no longer in service.
188 decibel shockwave that could tear the
They would use those new rockets now to take supplies up to the astronauts in International Space Station. Shows how old this is.
minutes of pure acceleration to over 17,000 miles per hour.
Jesus.
Survive that ride, and you enter the most inhospitable environment known to mankind.
So much rubbish out there floating around.
So Ken, just to be clear, when this
That's why they never invented something to clean it up.
this is outside.
You need like a
Every
grab.
time a rocket goes up and it detaches, the bit that they're using detaches from the rocket, that rocket's floating around. How many of those have been going on the last 40 or 50 years?
Attached to the space station in low Earth orbit,
50 years worth of rubbish at least.
Yeah.
miles above the Earth,
That's in the goes constantly around the Earth's atmosphere.
meteorites, and pieces of man-made junk, all traveling almost 20,000 miles an hour. So, for example, you got nailed right there. That was a pretty significant strike.
Cool.
So a burn mark that significant was made from something the size of a granule of sand.
Yes, sir. And that leads us to understand, as we all know, how hostile space is, and you can never take anything for granted.
That hole was made by a granule of sand.
Decent night's sleep is a challenge on the space station because there's no gravity to hold an astronaut down, and there's even less privacy. So engineers designed a special sleeping pod, 55 cubic feet in volume, about the size of a shower stall, called the crew quarters. And today, it's being cleaned before it heads up into space.
Jim, tell me, how come I have a hairnet on and you have a significantly more elaborate getup?
If you have facial hair, then you have to wear something that covers your beard or your mustache.
So even the possible rogue mustache hair off your mustache could potentially contaminate this piece of equipment. That's correct. So Chip, to the naked eye, as I look at the top of this, I mean, it looks relatively clean.
Well, let's turn the light on and take a look and see what we see.
That's amazing.
You can see
Yeah.
how much it jumps out at you.
We actually have quite a bit of cleaning to do.
That's true.